Today is May 5th, 2013. So we're now in bed and it's like 11 o'clock at night.
The last hour.
The last hour of my birthday weekend.
Last year of your 20s.
What are you looking forward to, babe?
You being pregnant this time next year.
Whoa! Everybody heard that. It's on video. It's on video. Most of you guys know that I was diagnosed with a severe autoimmune disease about 7 years ago. And for the most part over the past couple years, I've been doing pretty good and staying in remission. But June of 2015, last year, my disease decided to flare up and unfortunately come back full swing.
And in the midst of all of this change and some of the things that we were going through, and we were trying to get pregnant and we were unsuccessful in that journey. And I'll never forget that we both agreed that our end result is we wanted to have a child, raise a child in the ways of the Lord, and we knew that that was our calling, but that we would have to be okay with the journey. And God, being faithful and supplying every need, gave us a verse in a season where we really needed it, and it was found in Isaiah chapter 25, verse 1, and it starts with just saying, "Lord, you are my God." And then sometimes there's those verses where you get to stop right there and just be full, but it continues on and it just talks about God's perfect faithfulness, and it talks about all the things that God has for us, and it's in His timing, and there were things planned long ago. And we just held on to that verse, and we just knew that God's perfect faithfulness and His perfect timing, ultimately the end result would be have a family, whether it was by adoption or by infertility, because we were unsuccessful at this point, but we knew that God was going to show up during this time.
So we had some big decisions to make after praying for a little over 6 months, and the Lord showed us that we needed to just let everything go. And He told us that it was time for me to quit my job that I had just been doing very well at and had just gotten a promotion at, and to completely stop working in order to heal. And also at the same time, He told us to sell our home that we had just bought the year before to raise a family in. And so, those were some hard things. They didn't make sense on paper, and yet we knew we had to do it if we really did want to start a family and if we wanted to be obedient to what God was calling us to do.
And we got rid of all these things, and to some, the American dream is get a house, get married, have 2.5 children, and it seemed as if this was going backwards. But really, God was doing these things so that we can move forward as a family and establish some things. And sure enough, I told Connie, let's just, after we sell everything, did the infertility consultations and all these things, and I said, you know what, let's just let the dust settle. Let's wait a few months and just see what happens before we move forward with that, and let's just pray about where God would lead us. And ultimately, we, in that waiting period, in that season, we had a little surprise.
And literally 1 month after I quit my job and we sold the house and moved into this tiny little place, we found out that
we're pregnant.
So God did an amazing work in His perfect timing, as He always does, and it just showed us and strengthened our faith like never before, that when you're obedient to whatever God's calling you to do, He can do things above and beyond what you could even imagine. He can defy what doctors tell you is possible, what finances tell you are possible. Nothing is impossible with our great God. And so we just wanted to share that and make this baby announcement by giving all the glory to Him, because without Him it wouldn't be possible. And so we're super excited.
Coming January 2017.
Yay!
So just dance.